Get
begins to perceive cues that would
lovedreamingpeach.com.
signal impending danger.
Apologies
Those
for
cues could be
errors in the
really subtle, just a
auto-generated
change in tone
captions.
or some small behavior that might not mean much to another person, but it has preceded other violent acts. So, for instance, if your husband decides that he is not going out that night, he might put on different clothes.
I had another theory that I never got around to mentioning. So I just muted Peter for a minute because I really wanted to say this. So, will the prosecutor bring it up on rebuttal? I don't know. I hope so. The thought that, what if George was actually moving out? What if he was leaving her? What if he was planning to or thinking he might? She claimed, well, I had all these clothes for Lucas that were too small, and that the suitcase was way in the back of the closet, but that it was George's suitcase specifically, and he used to always go to Philadelphia with it, but he hadn't gone anywhere in a long while. Probably because, if what I think is correct, well, like I said, she had a car, he didn't. She had a cell phone, he didn't. She kept the password locked and face protected with her face, and a password that he didn't know. When he wanted to use the phone, he had to give the phone to her so she could unlock it, or unlock it with her face. So what I'm wondering is, well, she had hours and hours and hours before she called 911 to come up with something about why he's dead in the motherfucking suitcase. Nobody was there except the two of them. We saw in the public's cam footage that they did go buy wine together, even though she had said she didn't go, but then she did go. So what I'm wondering is, was the suitcase by the door? She said it was there for about a week. Was it by the door because he was going to leave her? Was there a fight where he was like, you know what, fuck this and fuck you? He used to be able to go to his parents' house when they were arguing, but apparently his parents had said, no coming back. Either you come back and you finally just break up with that bitch, or you know what, you're on your own because this is toxic. I'm paraphrasing. So maybe he said, let me go get my fucking suitcase. I am out of here, bitch. I'm done. They were fighting. The neighbors did testify. There was loud fighting, shouting. Then there was such a loud bang, 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 bang that sounded like it was coming from upstairs to downstairs. It was so loud that it shook the walls. So what I'm wondering is, were they fighting? And he pulled his, we don't know if the suitcase was down there by the door for a week waiting for Goodwill stuff, or if she made that up. Maybe the truth was that night he said, fuck you, bitch, I'm out of here. And he went and he got his suitcase out the back of the fucking closet, and he was gonna put some stuff in it. There was some papers in it, some clothes and shit. Was it Goodwill stuff? Was it his stuff? I don't know. I can't believe that he was in a suitcase with actual stuff. And like I said, the bars of the handle pushed down into the suitcase was bars in there as well. So I have a theory. Maybe it's just, just nothing, just a thought. But my thought was like, was he actually trying to leave? And she was like, you know what, motherfucker? You want to leave? You get in the fucking suitcase. Beat him with the bat a little bit. Got him into the fucking suitcase. Zipped it up. Threw it down the goddamn stairs. Dragged that shit over by the door. Maybe beat him a few more times, like she said, to stop him from coming out. I'm very curious if they're going to have any testimony that proves that she did hit him with the bat before he was in the suitcase. How would they know? Well, did they test the bat? Did they test, Did they find any splinters of wood on his skin? Did they find any pieces of his DNA on the bat? One witness did testify that the injuries could have been consistent with him getting hit with the bat outside or inside, I think. But whether they actually tested, I don't know. But so that was my whole theory. Was he actually trying to leave her? And he got his suitcase out, busted in everything, and he was like, I'm out, bitch. And she said, okay, you want out? This is your way out. Get in the fucking suitcase, pushing you down the stairs, and that's what you get. And isn't it ironic that in those clips that she took, which she obviously completely forgot about because she was so fucking drunk, there was none anger from George. There was no viciousness. There was no threats coming from him. There was no way that he could get out of it. And like I have thought to myself so many times, I thought that I was following this thing for the whole 4 years because that's how it feels. But when I went to look back at Peter Tragos's playlist on YouTube, it looks like the first video he made was a year ago. So maybe he's just been making so many goddamn videos, and I was like, I've been following this for 4 years, but it's just been a year. But anyway, this whole time, it never made sense to me. How are you playing hide and seek, first of all? Why would you get in there if you are playing hide and seek? Doesn't even make sense. And how did he not fight? How did he not struggle? How was he not like banging around, like, I don't know how, it's like if you're all crunched up, there's not much you can do. Like, you can't push your feet out, you can't push your arms up, you can't like how do you move totally trapped and imprisoned and confined into a tiny tight space? How do you get out? So like her whole idea, her whole claim of, I had no idea he could die in there. I had no idea he couldn't get out. Well, the fact that he didn't get out would be your clue that he couldn't get out, And if somebody can't breathe, you know that you can die from lack of oxygen relatively quickly. So it's just not believable. It's not fathomable. It's just not, like Amber Heard or Ashley Benefield or Charlie Adelson. Your story is just not believable. Your so-called reason for what you did, your so-called defense, it's indefensible. It's illogical. And whether or not he was actually trying to leave her and that turned into that, oh yeah, you're going to leave me? This is how you're going to leave me, motherfucker. Or it really was just some weird, like, why? I mean, obviously their relationship sounded incredibly toxic, obviously abusive, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, physically abusive. And, if he beat on her, I mean, I'm not saying he was a great guy. Even the video of him supposedly smashing the TV, it's like, he's like, you're going to help me get this shit out of here. It was obviously not a fight. It just seemed like one of those stupid things. Like, they even actually have a place. There's places you could go. They're called smash rooms and stuff like that. Or, like, axe throwing. Some people get a thrill out of it. So maybe they were like, well, it's broken. Let's just smash it. But it certainly didn't seem like an angry, screaming, violent. She's sitting there filming him calmly while he's like exhausted, like, like what? Playing the video made it even way worse for her. The picture looked kind of menacing, but the video was like, wait, what? You're gonna help me carry this shit.